Welcome back to Maker's Journey Workshop. I'm Benjamin Davies, and today we're making the Infinity Hardy tool. In our previous video, we made this Hardy right here. Making Hardys in the heel of the anvil isn't ideal, but this proved that we could do it. But I started thinking about what our journey was like. Sounded like a rapper that came out so fast. But I started thinking about what our journey was like whenever I was side hustling this, and I worked at a warehouse 4 to 5 days a week, and then on the weekends I was doing this. Which means if we had a lot of these to do, it wouldn't be ideal to go outside and forge 4 or 5 of these in a day and expect to get anything done the next day. It's pretty laborious and takes a lot out of you. And so that led me to come up with this guy right here, the Infinity Hardy. I've already used this on a couple projects, and I'm pretty pleased with it. We start out with a 1-inch bar for the shank, and we taper it down. Use some 1.5 inch pipe. I think we've got 3/16 1/4 inch. Well, I've done some upsetting around here. You'll see later on in the video. And then I can use 1-inch shanks that just kind of drop in there. And so it's got a little bit of play in it. And then we just tighten it up. And I love this tool. I think it's going to be great whether you're a beginner or no matter how far along in your journey you are. This is a great and handy tool to have. That's going to allow you to make several Hardys without having to go through the entire process of upsetting that metal. So it's just basically a dedicated placeholder, and then you just make as many of these guys as you want out of 1-inch bar. Today we're using mild steel. I'm a pretty big proponent of mild steel because it's accessible when you start out. And a lot of times whenever you're forging foreign carbon steels like leaf springs or coil springs, you don't really know what they are. And so you got to be careful because sometimes they'll have some hazardous coatings. Another thing is, all the tools that we're making out of mild steel, they're pretty robust. I would definitely not try to go make a nail punch for a horseshoe out of mild steel. That won't work. But for this guy, we can water quench or case harden, and we're going to do a video on case harden coming up. But we're going to show you a couple more tools first so we can batch case harden everything together. Hey y'all, we're doing a 30 for 30 challenge. It's something we came up with recently. We're cranking out 30 YouTubes in 30 days. What's the benefits of this? We got into content a few years ago because we thought it would be good for our business. We'd already achieved some success on Etsy and on e-commerce and just thought it was time to start sharing, and we thought, okay, this will be cool to share every now and again. What I didn't expect was how much I'd enjoy posting content and sharing our knowledge, and how excited and rewarding it was to receive feedback from people saying, hey, we really like some of the videos you're making. It's really helpful. I was actually working on just the other day. I get that message a lot. So I'm glad that after 15 years, we have something that we can share. What we're looking to do is provide as much value as possible. We definitely want to grow our channel, but more importantly, we want to provide more value. We're still growing, we're bootstrapping this thing. So far, I'm just a one-man content team looking for his D-Rock. If you think this provides you value and you're enjoying our videos, we ask that you subscribe and then share with people who you think also might like it. That'd mean the world to us. All right, let's get back to the show. Thank y'all for being here. Next thing, I like to use the bandsaw whenever possible because I just don't like cutting with an angle grinder. And I'm a big fan of these yellow tools. Once you find a brand that you like, whether it's yellow, red, whatever, build your tools around that. And that way you can build your battery arsenal and build your tool arsenal. But there's one thing I didn't think about that some of my earlier bandsaws didn't have, and that's this little light right here. Yep, that's pretty cool. Provides light to the work area, especially on their drills and things. But more importantly for the bandsaw, it tells you the path that your saw is going to cut based on the angle that you're starting at. So you can tell real early in your cut if you're going to be off or not. Drawing that extra line lets you know. So I always try to cast a little shadow, and I try to cast that shadow right over that line. It's a small thing that makes a big difference for me. Also, I love the portability of it. This next step, we use our little Hobart Handler 140 MIG gun. It was the first welder I bought for myself years ago. When I did my research, the thing that I liked about it is the guys that make the Pretty Blue welders. Also, this is a subsidiary of that company, so I'm thinking it's pretty similar along the same lines of quality. My kids have tagged it over the years. It has got abused. It has got schlepped on job sites with me left and right. It loves the flux core. It welds and penetrates much better with the flux core than it does with bottle and solid wire. Stuck our 4 little tack welds in there. Another trick about using that smaller welder is if you just heat your metal up a little bit like we're going to do in this next step, you'll actually get a little bit better penetration. This was something I just learned by happenstance. One day in the shop, I bought some little S7 dies and I didn't have tongs to forge them, so I welded a bull bar to it. A bull bar is just a longer piece of material that's sacrificial. You can weld to the nicer piece and do all your forging and then cut it off when you're done and grind where it is welded. And I was getting frustrated, so I would weld these to the S7 and they wouldn't hold. And so finally I did a couple tack welds in there, shoved it in the forge, brought it out and welded it on, and it stuck like glue. I mean, it was good stuff. So those little welders, if you're willing to heat up a little bit of metal, they'll definitely outkick their coverage as far as what they say on the side of the box. And it's a nice way to start out because that welder was about $500, and the blue welders that are bigger, that'll weld your 1/2 inch and thicker steels, about $5,000. So choose how you spend your dollars starting out. They're really important. I get it. I was there. Thank y'all so much for watching the video today. I hope you enjoyed it. Get out there, try to make one of these hardies if you think it'll help you. I'm really pleased with this tool. I wish I would have thought of this years ago. It's such just a utilitarian piece that is going to save you some time and allow you to access other tools and different shape hardies quicker. I think the possibilities on this guy are limitless. So get out there, make your own infinity hardy, and yeah, get started. And now I present to you my stuff. This is our overflow rack, so anything that's left over from jobs, extra, we shove back here in the weather. It gets seasoned that way until it's ripe and ready for forging. That's the best way to do it.